Nobody ever said she was the smartest cow in the place. She could have gone 10 feet any direction from where she was and been in a cleaner spot. But it is what it is. She's cleaning it up. Don't know what it is yet. Maybe this is why I was awake about 4 o'clock. It's 5 now. Sometimes that happens. And she's just almost clean too. There's some pretty good sized. Yeah, my brain went dead this morning. The buttons that hold the uterus in. Yeah, apparently you don't want to ask me today what the hell those are, because I'm not going to tell you. They don't hold the uterus in, they hold the placenta to the uterus. God, drive me crazy when my brain goes dead like that. So, anyway, here we go, another one. And by the way, you hear that on the roof? All freaking night. It's actually not too bad right now. It's chilled out quite a bit. She thinks she's got a twin come out because she's got almost cleaned already. Sometimes that happens, and they want to clean up the rest of their mess because in nature, that's what they got to do. Keep the smell away from the coyotes and the wolves and the cougars and the bears. But she needs to work on her calf and not that. And I got to do something by getting the calf over in the maternity pen. Better. I don't think he'd been up yet. Well, I know he hasn't. She needs to get her butt back up here and finish on him. He's a big boy. Of course, she is not a small cow. By any means. She never has been. And yeah, boy, it wouldn't make a very good range bull. Or a very good bull where there's lots of snow. And she's already got snowballs. They tend to get a little bit of sunburnt when they're out with those, but he won't have to worry about it. He'll make a damn nice steer for somebody. And no, I didn't pick him up, bear hug him, and drag him in. We got an old chunk of rope. It was a short piece after making something. That end will slip on an ankle, drag him in. The old man used to grab a piece of big bale twine and do the same thing, and there's yesterday's. Just going for broke this morning. Now, the thing with big bale twine is it's way less comfortable to hold on to, and I mean, I'm going to guess he's at least 100 pounds. That's a pretty good drag when you got a hold of a small diameter item. Bad enough with this rope. Hey, what a morning. Wind last night knocked down a rotten tree out of the neighbors across the road. I didn't know it was there this morning. Explained why there were some cars going slow. So, one of their neighbors come through in the dark and called Becky and said she'd called the non-emergency number, and then gave Becky's number so the officer could contact her if he needed to. And she called me and says, "Hey, he's up there. Maybe you can go give him a hand." Well, between the ditch and the bank, there's no way the skid steer would reach far enough to get it off the road. So we got part of it, and he'd already called the Public Works to come take care of it. So they just showed up, and they're up there making a little noise. So I haven't even fed yet. But I get back down here, and some cows, you remember their number for a reason. I mean, she's an all right mama, but that poor calf was sprawled out, and he's still cold because she hasn't finished cleaning him up down there yet. Yeah, that's her. I think that's one that the kids don't like too. Either that or it was her mother they didn't like. Either way. So, probably have to mess with that poor calf. But it's good to see that the county boys are out here to clean up. The dogs just realized that they're up there. Brilliant dogs. Of course, I had them locked in the shop this whole time. And I better get to feeding. Yep, not the best at cleaning her babies. Number one puts the mother up on the calf, and she's been kind of working, but she's being a nervous Nelly. So now this one wants to go over there. She's concerned. Well, they can talk back and forth. Maybe this one will tell her to get her butt in gear. Well, he's cold and she's being a pain, and I don't know what's better with us in here or worse with us in here. Sometimes you walk away and things happen. So we may just do that because she's being a pain in the butt. Some more scrap art.
Not clear up there. It's not going to strap back.
Hanging on the gate.
You're about a foot short.
I know, that's a lot, huh?
We've had that calf sling for, I don't know, at least 5 years. Never have used it. Of course, it don't come with any destruction, so you don't know where to put the straps. And he's a big boy. His front legs aren't working.
Yeah, but...
So then you get him up on his hind legs and he wants to run, but he doesn't. He hasn't figured out that his front legs don't work yet.
Those front legs, I know, baby.
And he's early. See if we can. We tried to show you on another one.
Get up on your back.
See how his teeth are covered? They were completely covered earlier. They're finally breaking out of the membrane. If they're completely covered, generally they're at least 2 weeks early. So
I know, we get the front. We get the butt end up and you can go.
if you kind of figure half covered, they're a week or so. But we're figuring out where we need to splint his legs. He knuckles over on the left front, but she also said that he was walking on his knees, and that's not good either. But he seems to be able to hold them straight. So it may just be because he was knuckling, and you know, if he's early, things aren't quite done yet. So there he is, standing up, sort of. We got the cripple back here holding the back end of the cripple. So.
That was a good step. Yeah, that was a good step. What do you think?
If he stands here a little bit, maybe he'll get his legs to work. Anything to help. Oh, and I mentioned how she doesn't like to clean her calves up very well. Yeah. Number one ended up wasting all our calf towels and a bucket of hot water to get him cleaned up. And, you know, he still ain't cleaned up, but he's warm. That's 90% of it.
I wasted all my towels cleaning him up.
Well, we had him slung. Ron wanted to lay down and take a nap with him, so Ron gets to feed him. He's actually sucking. He's not sucking real strong, but he's getting some in. That's what number one milked out of the cow earlier.
Then I get to milk her again. Look how big her teeth are.
Yeah. She's got fat teeth. She's always been a pain in the butt. But yeah, don't like feeding them when they're laying down. But he's every bit of 100 pounds, and there's I can't hold him up to do it. She can't hold him up to do it, and God knows Ron can't either. So keep his head up, and as long as he's the one doing it and you're not trying to pour it down his throat, it should go in the right place. That wasn't a full bottle. It was just barely under a half. And he's getting some love from the girls on the other side.
Even Grumpy came up too when he was laying here. She started being the mama hen.
Speaking of Grumpy. Yeah, now Grumpy's laying back there.
We're missing it.
Tell me I miss it. Just because this other calf was last year's calf was trying to sneak some milk. Probably licking on his face. But he's figured out that that's feeling good in his belly. He's probably eaten half of what was in there, I suppose. If he gets that done, that'll be enough for a little bit. Pretty sure we'll have to give him a bottle later, because I don't know that he's going to be up and eating on her today. And zoom in here. Those teeth are too big. Those teeth are this size of a infant's arm. That's just too much. We don't like them that way. That's why, because calves have a hard time getting on them when they're young. She's one that's been on the list for a long time.
For 6 years to be exact.
Yeah. She just don't know what to think about this. Of course, it happens every year. We got to do something with her calf. This just is probably the worst, I guess.
This isn't every year with her.
So, anyway, I'm going to end up with too long of a video if I get the rest of the day on here. I get a whole lot of time in here today. Got that thing moved over so we can walk around it now. And, all those old hoses. Number one was working on taking off a cylinder yesterday. Ron got those all apart, all the replaceable ends and the fittings that were on them. Those old hoses were junk, so they're in the scrap barrel. I still got to get the bow out of those. I don't know if I'll get that done in the morning or not. Get that done, I can, well, I still got to get that set of sawhorses freed up. Get that stuff there apart and cleaned up, put away. Let's see. Oh, I got a few more pieces of tin out of the way. Well, small parts. The mirror brackets back up on the cab on both sides. I planned on making adjustable mirrors like we got on the tractors, but that requires a piece of tube all the way across the front. If you look at the front of that bracket, I need to extend out there about 6 inches to clear the windshield wiper stuff, which may or may not ever get used. I don't know. It'd be kind of nice to get the wiper arms for it and put on it, because God knows there's been more than once we've been out in the rain. Bracket up there and got the cover over the door track. So that's all done. I was working on this while Ron was taking those hoses apart. And really haven't got to anything else down here yet. I was just thinking with the little piece that was on the side of the steering column before, finding some pieces for it. There's the cover for it that hides the wires. It had a toggle switch and 4 warning lights in it before. I cleaned these up and they all work. They got a metal cap on them that's all rusted to shit. So I'm going to mask the lens off, and I got them cleaned up about as good as they're going to get. Paint those so they don't look like crap. And I'm thinking, this seems backwards. Yeah, it goes in there this way. Goes on the right side. Switch must have been in the top hole. I'm trying to figure out if I want to use that for an ignition switch or put light switches in there. These holes are too close together to fill it with switches. I mean, I can do a switch and a light, and a switch and a light, then a switch with no light. Or I still got to run a choke cable up somewhere, and it may do that here. I don't know. I'll figure it out one way or the other. But now that some things are apart and more stuff on the bench, now things can get cleaned up and put away. And that sounds like another round of hail, probably. Sun shines for half an hour, and rain for 20 minutes, hail for 10 minutes. Wind blows like hell. That's been a nice day. So, anyway, I got feeding to do and a calf to take care of tonight, so go down and do that. And probably call it a day, because it's 5 o'clock and I've been out since 5 o'clock. I've been up since I woke up about 4, so it's been a long day. Just don't have a damn thing to show for it. I spent too much time in the barn with that calf, but yeah, he's doing all right. We never did get him up. I think he's going to be like that other big one we pulled. I think he's going to be a couple of days before he actually gets up on his feet. But he's perked up and we got some milk in him, so that's about all we can do at the moment. I don't know if I'll get any more while I'm feeding or not. I might get some more of that calf. We'll see. If not, thank you for watching. Appreciate Appreciate it. And yeah, see what tomorrow brings.